Sandra Moscoso. I work for the World Bank's Open Finances program with an amazing team doing very serious things. We open the bank's financial data and work to connect with people who need this data to advocate for their communities, solve problems, lots of different things. I also do a lot of work with this team. Aw, thank you. The smaller team members are DC public school students, and they're getting an amazing education. My husband and I do whatever we can. We donate to the PTA, we go to meetings, we do all the things that people ask us to do, but we also do other things. We join other DC parents and neighbors and lots of different kinds of people in supporting our school by fighting for librarians and pushing for transparency and funding and organizing community events. You know, the usual things most people do outside of the PTA. I know it sounds exhausting and it's a bit tiring, but it's okay because I have a superpower. I'm really super average. This special power gives me a voice with government and enables me to ask our city to pay attention to issues that I care about. And you have this power too. In my case, I draw this power from my incredible community. I'm inspired by the amazing people who have touched my children's schools. Not just the educators and not just the people in the school, but sometimes strangers and neighbors who show up to pitch in for just one day but make a huge difference. That log was crazy, huge, and heavy. And DC schools need a lot of help. In spite of all the pitching in, we're consistently at the bottom of the country in all kinds of rankings. We get lots of money per pupil and no one knows how to spend it, and so it's consistently mismanaged. So people aren't all that excited about sending their children to their local neighborhood school. In fact, DC school budgets, their operational budgets, have to be approved by parents or by a community member before it goes through. It's completely dysfunctional. It sounds like a great thing, but it's not. It's completely dysfunctional, which has created this whole thing of choice. School choice in DC, school choice. Everybody talks about choice, and what choice really means is you can choose to apply to a lottery to get into a school. Doesn't mean that you get to get your child in, it means that you choose. So you're leaving your child's education up to a lottery. And this makes me completely crazy, completely nutso. And I know that DC collects tons of data about me, my kids, all of their friends. And I think this data could be used to help us make choices. So when I heard that a chapter of Code for America was opening in DC, I marched myself to Sunlight Foundation, where they hosted the first meeting, and I tried really hard to recruit someone to help me out. And I kind of convinced Harlan Harris, who's not here, to help me out, and he's been leading this effort. We've been scraping together data for a while, but when Open Data Day came around, we knew that we wanted to leverage the masses to help us with this project. What we were missing was the data. So I took my own advice, and I summoned my superpowers of average, and I wrote an open letter to the mayor, and I asked him to release some data. So thanks to all of you guys and the power of social media, we were able to get 12 data sets from the DC Office of Data. And that day, we pulled together a small team. And we worked on a few visualizations, pulling in data about things that parents care about. And we got a little press, and it was really exciting. But what was most exciting was that we were able to connect with people that were actually doing the data crunching in the office. And one of them is here, and his name is Tom, and he's totally awesome. And he's in this picture. I want you to just take a couple seconds to just look at these awesome people. And what we learned from Tom and from other folks is that the folks in government actually want to give us the data. They want to help parents make better decisions. They want to open up this data, but they need our help. We need to push because there are limited resources and it takes resource. And I know this because I do a little bit of data opening in my day job. So one other thing that I learned that I thought was very interesting was that other parents wanted data too. Parents are smart. We know that we need information to make good decisions. I think we're smart. Sometimes I'm pretty sure I'm not the smartest person in the room. But it was exciting to see how many people acted on this and responded. And in fact, one of the people that we met through this effort recently used open data to frame its testimony for a city council hearing on education. And my favorite part is listening to council members like Marion Barry talk about data. I watch them stream those meetings and they crack me up. I'm like, I've never heard him say data before. So what now? Well, if you want to help schools, I hope that you'll advocate for transparency in your school, whether you're a parent, a neighbor, or whatever. If schools aren't your thing, doesn't matter. Advocate for transparency and open data in whatever it is that moves you. And in terms of my day job, I hope you'll do the same of us. I hope you'll push us. I hope if our data, if the World Bank's financial data can help you advocate better in your community, especially if the bank is working in your community, I hope you'll push us, you'll let us know, and I hope you'll do things with us and tell us about it. And you can start today. There is an open data demand session hosted by my colleague Sam Lee. Raise your hand, Sam. And I hope you'll attend and you'll talk about what the demand is for open data. And I hope you will download our World Bank Finance's mobile app. Thank you.